Okay, so number 15 is the same thing. It tells me that x is this thing of 4. So we have two whole x's, and then we have 1/4 of another one. So that would be what? 2.25x equals 1, 2, 3. Sorry, not equals. Plus 3. And then 1, 2, 3, and then 3.5 x. Now I have to do what? Well, draw my t-chart. And I already have the only constant on this side, so I'm going to put c here and v over here. Minus 2.25x minus 2.25x. So that's gone. What's left? I just bring it down. 3. And 3.5 minus 2.25 is going to be 1.25x. And I'm going to do the last step as divide by that. Okay. Now, I don't know off the top of my head what 3 divided by 1.25 is. But I do know that 1.25 can go into 3 more than 2 times. So I know it's not A, and I know that it's not B. I also know that 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 times 25 cents is 75 cents. So I know that D's not right, because D would be 375 if I multiplied it by 3. So it leaves my only choice as C. So sometimes you don't actually have to do the division right here if you can understand that this will go into this number a little more than 2 times. So it can't be A, 1.5. It can't be B, 0.6. And if I multiplied the bottom by D, which was 3, it would be too large. It would be 375. So it's got to be C. And so a lot of times, number sense, being able to manipulate numbers, is almost as important as being able to do the math. Understanding that, hey, I don't actually have to do the multiplication or the division if I understand in general what's going on. Okay, number 16. A tank starts off containing 1,060 gallons of water. So right off the bat, I'm going to highlight that. And 35 gallons of water leaks from the tank every hour. At the same time, an empty pool is filled with water at a rate of 480 gallons per hour. Okay, so let's see. Which inequality represents all possible values of x for the number of hours that have been passed when the tank contains less water than the pool? Okay, so which one is the pool? The one that has the 480. So we want to know when tank is what pool. Well, it says right here, contains less water. So when tank is less than pool. So 480 goes with the pool. So I want the 480 on this side of the greater than sign. And I'll just use x for the hours because that's what it says. And so I need something that looks like this. Okay, so it's not F and it's not G, because both of those have the symbol facing the wrong way. So I can go ahead and cross those out. Now I have 1060 for the tank, and I'm leaking 35. So am I going to add 35 to that, or am I going to subtract 35 from that? Well, leak is going to be minus. And so now I have an addition and a subtraction problem, and so it's not J, it is H. So notice, I didn't just start writing all of this stuff down, right? What I did first is I asked myself, what is it asking? It's asking for T less than P, tank less than pool. And then from there, I took the pool piece and said, well, I know it has to be this symbol with pool on that side. And so I crossed out the two that didn't fit. And then I wrote down the left side to match on the other two. So you don't necessarily need to just jump right in and start putting numbers in places. Look for what it's asking first and then go from there. That'll help make things a little bit more clear when you do the problems. Renting video games from Store S costs $2.50 per game plus a monthly fee of $5. Man, $2.50 per game, monthly fee of $5. Renting video games from Store T costs $5 per game with no monthly fee. The monthly cost to rent video games depends on the number of games V rented. Which inequality represents the situation when the monthly cost at Store S is less than the monthly cost at Store T? So once again, before I do anything, I'm going to write, let me zoom in a little. Store, not storm. Store S is what Store T. Okay, what am I looking for? Store S is less than Store T. So I need a less than. So I want Store S on the left side. I want Store T on the right side. Now, it doesn't actually matter. I could have written it Store T something Store S. We know that this one has to be the smaller one, so it could go that way. But all I'm saying is you have to look for the symbol pointing to the right thing on the right side. So let's look at Store T real quick. Is $5 per game, 5V. So we're looking for something where this is opening to 5V. Okay, well there is no symbol in this one. So this one could be right. This one's opening not towards 5V, so this one could be right. So now we want to verify between those two. Store S is $2.50 per game plus a $5 fee. Now, what is the difference between these two values? What happened here? What is the value there? Well, what did they do? They took 5 and added it to $2.50. Can you do that? No. Why? Because 5 does not have a variable. So we can't do that. We can't put the 5 and the $2.50 together because 5 doesn't have a variable. So it's got to be A.